You were wanting to join a drug cartel, right? So he explained to you that you have to be able to kill people. And he asked you, have you ever killed anyone? You said, yes. And let me tell you something about it. You know how this came into our possession? You want me to tell you? Mr. Smith is an informant.
The suspect sat slumped in her chair, voice breaking.
I'm just trying to tell you how I seen it as. That's how I see it as. I know I'm not right in the head, but that's how I see it in the situation. I know he's the one that did it, but I don't remember anything. I know the places you said. I know the people you're talking about, but I don't remember doing it. I don't remember being in an actual position.
She built her defense on amnesia, but the detective didn't raise his voice. He leaned forward and gently set the trap.
You waited for her in the kitchen to be bent over in the refrigerator. You took the rock, bashed her head in, and strangled her, okay? And based upon your very explicit words, we got a search warrant, went to the house, and the physical evidence in that place is exactly like you said.
That single line pulled the floor out from under her story. This is cognitive dissonance at work. She thought memory loss could protect her. She didn't expect her own words to become the evidence.
You were wanting to join a drug cartel, right? So he explained to you that you have to be able to kill people. And he asked you, have you ever killed anyone? You said, yes. And let me tell you something about it. You know how this came into our possession? You want me to tell you? Mr. Smith is an informant.
But the pertinent questions are who this demonic woman is, what happened on April the 18th, 2023, and how detectives psychologically trap him with a perfect bait. Welcome back to my channel. I don't have many followers, but your single comment is a ray of hope for me.
How you doing? That's kind of I read it as I'm coming down here. It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah. Christopher.Hodge.
There's a package on the front porch. It looks like it's been there a week.
Okay.
HOD.
He knows more about the details of
Okay.
that.
You guys are marshals?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you working with the detective? Is Canton?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a fugitive investigation, but then I guess
The one lady
girlfriend
said that she killed her in arson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't obviously
So
fit,
I don't know if
But
I
they're
think.
supposedly they took mom's car. The lady that lives here. They're in her car somewhere.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Do we know how old she is?
He probably knows.
Okay. You checked the doors or anything?
I checked. You can look right in. It's on the patio. It's dark in there. And
Say if it's unlocked, we're just going to go in.
check that door. I don't know if you tried this one.
No.
I do got my RAM and stuff, but obviously it's your guys'
You know,
fault.
I'm gonna of anything. See if we got a
key holder or something.
key holder here, or the property manager. Usually they have somebody.
That's a good idea.
What's kind of going with the...
Yeah, I kind of read it. I'm gonna see if she's seen her.
Right.
This lady has got contact numbers for the house here. It says she hasn't seen this lady in a long time, but a gentleman comes in and out.
So what happened was this dude was on bond for Wood
The son.
County. The son.
Right.
He was supposed to show up for sentencing or something like that.
Okay.
This morning, the Border Patrol stops him in Douglas, Arizona,
Okay.
with a 17-year-old that's a missing juvenile.
And she's the one reporting the murder and
But
arson.
they also said they burned the house down too.
Right.
But obviously the house ain't burned down.
Right.
So right now,
So we have no idea where she is.
we don't.
Okay.
So I'm going to verify the plate comes back here of the car, the border. So the
Okay.
Border Patrol stopped him and said, hey, we got this one guy here that's missing juvenile. And the sheriff's office down there, they may have 2 or 3 guys. And
See if she's seen her.
they let him go.
It was the chilly evening of April 18th, 2023, in Sylvania Township, Ohio, when the tragic sequence began to unfold. The skies were gray and heavy from spring rains, and the suburban neighborhood was settling quietly for the night. Inside a modest home on Chandler Drive, 53-year-old Nicole Jones moved about her kitchen, unaware that danger was steps away. Upstairs, her son Jonathan Jones, 33, and 17-year-old Caitlin Coons, who had recently fled a group home in Cleveland, whispered about their forbidden relationship. Nicole had been their obstacle, refusing to allow Caitlin to live there. Earlier that day, Caitlin had issued Jonathan an ultimatum. He had 5 hours to kill his mother or she would leave him. Though Jonathan failed to act, but Nicole was found dead in kitchen on the same day at 7 p.m.
Okay.
They're like, we don't have time, so now
Did
we're
he go into Mexico or?
I don't know. Now we're scrambling in the FBI. But then
Okay.
in the midst of that, they called and said, this murder, but they have her car.
Okay.
So that's why
So we verified that this is actually her card of
we're
this
going to do that
residence.
right now.
Okay.
We're firing up leads right now.
We got a lady that's going to check. Like you said, she's got phone numbers, and I think it's a number that's not the owner, but somebody else. And she's seeing a man going in and out of here.
That's probably her
So,
guy. We got the window all the way open.
okay.
We can just step right through it.
Yeah, let's go in. We'll go.
I mean, I don't see no... Sit out here and mess up the block. Go ahead, we can go through
Yep.
this and lock the door. We've got a table, though. Don't break the shit. 432 out here with us.
Dispatch, 432, your emergency is going
Just
off.
turn it off and on. You want to come to that door then?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, reset. Accidental 1127.
486 dispatch. We're going to make entry here.
Copy. Aaron, close to the bridge.
Huh? Police department! Right here, recorder. Yeah. Yeah, that car's in Douglas, Arizona. Yeah, that way, yeah.
I wonder if they could have did this arson somewhere else.
How about the garage? Did you guys check the garage?
Yes.
Anything in there?
You would have heard it.
Shake plate? No, I meant, is there any vehicles in
No.
there?
So this right here was rotted. Yeah, of course.
Why don't you, Dave, check that mailbox and see what is in there.
Okay.
What kind of mail.
All right.
Yes, the detective from Lake said that this guy was supposed to move in to take care of her.
Oh, Al Garin?
Yeah.
Yeah, used to be a county guy. So is this battery or is this pill?
I don't know what that is.
Because it sounds like pills in there. I don't want no sugar.
I'd like to know where she is. Hopefully she's in a facility.
Medline Industries.
Letter from adult probation. All of them are empty. Jesus. I'm going to run out and give our detectives a call and see, have them come out here if they ask where I went. Hello. Do you hear a call on Timber's Edge? Okay, we were sent over here from a detective in Canton. It's in regards to the safety of the individual that lives here at 7456. When I get here, the marshals are here, and they're telling me that this lady's car was stopped down in Arizona by the son and the girlfriend. And the girlfriend reported to her caseworker that they killed her and burned down the home. Okay, the home's not burned down, but we had enough to kind of go through in the window and went inside. It's kind of a mess, but we don't know where this lady is. We don't know if the son and this girl took her and on the way down to Arizona, I don't know. So basically what we have is the woman that's living here is unaccounted for.
Considering Caitlin suspicious, the cops brought her in for interrogation, and today we will focus on the psychological aspects of this interrogation.
I'm gonna go over the proffer with her real quick. Okay. You need a couple minutes with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
That way there she understands. We gotta get it all signed here. Okay. How well is your reading? All right. Warm enough?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So follow along, because I like to read the whole thing. So it's a letter written to me. It said, based upon our earlier conversation, it is my understanding your client, Caitlin Coombs, is willing to provide an off-the-record proffer, which means talking, regarding matters of interest to this office, in order to ensure that there are no misunderstandings concerning the meaning of off-the-record proffer. I'm writing to clarify the ground rules. Okay? So, I mean, you've already given interviews to the FBI and things like that, so the worst of the worst is already out there. Okay?
Right.
But in this conversation we're going to have, I don't know what else may pop up. So I'm going to cover, it protects you for anything new that might come up in this thing, okay? So first, no truthful statement made by your client, and the key word is truthful, or any other accurate information provided by your client during the off-the-record proffer or discussion will be used against your client in any criminal case during the state's case in chief, unless your client tells any untruths.
Right, like
Okay.
you're telling me.
And they'd have to, show that one way or the other. Okay? If one or more untruths are told, then this entire proffer may be used against your client in any future hearings or proceedings. So this has to be one of those statements that just say, you understand, I'm going to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And if I try to play them, everything I say can be used against me, okay? Second, the state may make derivative use. You know what derivative means? All right, so they can take what they have here and go check out something over there that's not related to this case.
What they did. Before asking about the crime, the detective slowly and thoroughly reads the proffer agreement, detailing that she must be truthful or everything can be used against her. He emphasizes words like candid, complete, and truthful. Underlying theory. Cognitive dissonance theory. Once someone publicly agrees to be honest, lying creates psychological discomfort. To reduce that tension, people tend to stay consistent and tell the truth.
much nicer than TPD.
Is it now? Yeah, it is. I've been there. It is a little nicer. But,
So I'm Erin Kennedy, I'm the prosecutor on this case. My understanding is you want to speak with us today. Is that correct? Okay, and you've waived your right to remain silent. You're here with your attorney, correct? Have you read this proffer agreement?
Yes, I have.
Okay, do you understand what's contained therein?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if any part of what is not truthful is said here today, we can completely disregard this agreement. Okay, and we can also subject you to a polygraph test. Do you understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you still want to speak with us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is for you. This is your chance to help yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell your side of the story. I know you've already made statements before. So what I want you to do is just start, tell it from the beginning to the end. Don't leave anything out. I'd ask for you to be truthful. I don't want to be pulling things out of you. This is your chance to help you, okay?
You want to speak loud enough for the,
yep.
because this is being recorded, okay?
So I'm probably going to let Detective Albright take the lead on this. I'll have some specific things, but like I said, I want to hear what happened. I want you to be truthful, and I've got some specific things I'll come back with, okay?
We've met before. I'm Detective Albright, and I want to kind of look at, I'm going to follow the timeline of what we know happened in all this, okay? And some of this has been found through, physical evidence investigation and by your own admissions. So we'll kind of keep it to this for the major outline, and then if you have any details you want to add or any specific things we want to know about, we'll work that out.
What they did, they tell her she can help herself by telling her side of the story. Instead of positioning her as a suspect, they subtly frame her as a participant in solving the case. Effect on suspect. This reframes her identity from accused killer to valuable witness. People are more cooperative when they feel like they hold power or significance. Underlying theory. Self-perception theory. People infer their attitudes from their behavior. If she sees herself acting cooperative, she starts believing she is cooperative and keeps disclosing more.
So, Jonathan Jones, what relationship did you have with Jonathan?
I don't know what to say about that type of relationship. I would say, at first, it was just a friend, then boyfriend, but then, just a manipulator.
Okay.
He just abused me and stuff like that. So I don't know what you would call that.
Okay. In what way did he abuse you or manipulate you?
He raped me multiple times and stuff like that.
Okay. Did you ever have a consensual relationship with him?
For a minute, yes, we did.
Okay.
Would you define a minute? What do you mean by a minute?
The 2 months, I was with him for 3 months back before he caught the case that he caught for the kidnapping and sex crimes against me. For the 2 months, it was consensual, but then after a while, he wouldn't let me leave. He would threaten to kill himself and stuff like that, so I stayed with him. But he would rape me and stuff whenever I would be asleep. And then before the case that started just now, or whatever, before, what happened or whatever, I was with him or whatever, but I specifically told him before everything happened that I did not want to be at the house unless she knew that I was at the house, because prior to it happening.
We'll slow down.
Okay. Sorry, that was a little bit too much.
They let her talk at length, rarely interrupting. Long pauses follow her answers, which she rushes to fill with more detail. Effect on suspect. This reduces her psychological guard, while simultaneously pressuring her to keep talking. The silence feels heavy, and she over-explains to relieve the tension, often revealing incriminating details. Underlying theory. Social facilitation theory. Being observed increases arousal, and silence heightens it. Under this pressure, people act to end the discomfort, often by saying more than they intended.
Well, no, I know how I've been with you enough to know I want you to back up. Let's talk about what happened down in Wood County. All right.
When he got the charge, specifically related to you, which led to his troubles with Wood County Court?
So basically, his mom kicked us out of the house or whatever after finding out that the food was going on in her house, and he did the same thing that he did to me. He was basically like, well, kill me, just kill me, and then, you know, he just ended up leaving her at the house. Leaving her at the house, and we left. And that's when we started living in the streets. You know, we went and stayed at his friend's house, and then
Who's the friend?
I don't know the friend's name.
Where did he live?
Like, it was I feel like it's an apartment because it's like this was this side of his friends, and then this was somebody else's, and then it was like a garage, like there was a car here.
Was this in Bowling Green? What's this?
No, it was here in Sylvania
Okay.
or whatever. I just don't know exactly where we're at. But why that happened or whatever, he was taking pictures of me, and at first, like, I was into it, like, I was involuntary, like, it was consensual at first, but then it turned into unconsensual or whatever. Like, he was just going a little bit too far with it by raping me and then hitting me and all, like, spanking, all types of craziness or whatever. But how the case got started or whatever is we were walking, I got overly intoxicated at a motel or whatever, and we were walking, and like I was just sluggish. I didn't know what was happening, and the officer, like, they asked me and stuff, and then like I couldn't even speak to them. Like, truthfully, I didn't know what was happening.
Where was this?
It was like a truck lane. I don't know where it was at, but it was like a hotel or motel, and then there was like a truck lane, and then there was like a gas station, and we came back from the gas station, but we were walking in the truck lane or whatever. They pulled us over because we were in the truck lane, and they thought that, you know, I was trying to prostitute right there in the truck lane, but I wasn't prostituting in the truck lane. And they took me, and they took him, and he had a gun on him, he had marijuana on him, and they charged him with kidnapping and sex crimes because prior to that, I got taken from the Emily's program where I was in there for my eating disorder. That's how that whole case got started.
They walk her through the Wood County arrest, the hospital stay, and documented case history before asking about the murder. Effect on suspect. This locks her into a factual timeline. If she lies about the murder, it will stand out against the solid, verified events, cornering her without overt accusation. Underlying theory. Commitment and consistency principle. Once people commit to certain facts, they feel compelled to stay consistent. Breaking that pattern by lying creates internal tension and obvious contradictions.
For that.
Okay, so this was back in 2022.
October of 2022.
Yeah, so you guys get stopped. Is that a truck stop somewhere in Wood County, down south of here?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know exactly where it was at.
So the officer encounters you guys at the truck stop because a lot of things go on at those places, and I've seen the report, and somehow, some way, the officer ends up finding pictures of you either on his phone or your phone, something of that nature. Is that correct?
Yeah, he had pictures of me. He has a whole bunch of pictures of me. And then not on top of that, then he has pictures like that I've sent him or whatever back whenever we very first met.
Okay. So based upon that, he gets charged in Wood County, ultimately gets convicted of those crimes related to that incident. Then the judge lets him out, waiting on his sentencing, okay?
Right.
Now, let's fast forward and we get to 2023, okay? And then around April, prior to April, you'd been in the hospital, correct? Out in Canton?
Yeah, the auto accident.
I was in Cleveland.
Cleveland, okay.
I had my car accident where I had a traumatic brain injury or whatever, and I got out of the hospital, and I was staying at this group home.
How long were you in the hospital?
Like 2 months.
Okay. And why were you there so long?
I don't even know why I was there for so long. I think it's because my caseworker was trying to find me treatment facility or like somewhere for me to go, basically like placement, because like I have so many issues. Like I have my self-harming, my depression, and then my anger and my aggression problems.
So you would say that you've had a lot of issues. You're probably well known in Canton, Stark County because of all those issues,
Yeah,
right?
I have a bad running away history.
So they were having some issues finding a place for you to go, correct?
Right.
Okay. So at some point were you in the hospital, did you become friends with someone? A nurse?
No, I did not become friends with no nurse.
No?
No.
And that you conversed with?
There was what was her name? I don't even remember the person's name. I know there's somebody, like, there was a lot of, like, sitters and stuff that, like, I talked to and stuff, but...
This particular person, she called you Kit Kat.
What they did, when she calls Jonathan both a boyfriend and an abuser, they don't argue. They just quietly ask for clarification and let the contradiction hang. Effect on suspect. This subtle confrontation forces her to resolve cognitive tension herself, often by blurting out deeper truths to make the story make sense. Underlying theory. Cognitive load theory. Holding two conflicting ideas strains mental resources. Under this load, deceptive stories collapse and truth emerges because it's cognitively easier to tell.
Remember who that is?
No, I do not remember.
Okay. Rebecca Callahan?
No, I don't remember who that is.
Okay. Because you exchanged many texts with her and told her about some of the things that you were involved in, and ultimately that information came to us, and then this whole thing transpired, and here we are.
Caitlin, you don't remember telling her I killed someone?
No, I don't remember ever saying that. I never had my phones whenever I was with Jonathan, so I don't... I talked about this with multiple people from that's involved in my case, because they showed me the messages, but like I got my phones back whenever I came back from Mexico, so I don't know what happened what was going on with that.
You didn't have your phones the entire time you were with Jonathan? Okay. All right, well, I'm gonna let you keep going. Okay.
I mean, I did have my phones, but I didn't have my phones, if that makes sense.
No, explain it.
So, like, whenever I was on the run with Jonathan or whatever, like, my whole mind, right? I, like, totally, like, I don't remember anything that happened. I don't remember anything that happened. All I remember is, like, waking up multiple times, going right back down. Waking up multiple times, going right back down. There is point in times where I do remember being on my phone, but I don't specifically remember ever texting nobody. But most of the time, though, Jonathan had my phones. He was doing black internet web stuff, looking up maps to Mexico and all that type of stuff. So I never paid attention to him with that because I didn't mess with him. I thought that he was dangerous. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. So you are at this group home now. After you get out of the hospital, they put you in this group home in Canton area, right? And at some point, you leave there.
Right.
And make your way to Sylvania, to Jonathan's house. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. How did you get to Jonathan?
What they did, they confront her with text messages saying she killed someone and press her when she claims not to remember. Effect on suspect. This signals they already have insider evidence. If she knows those details are true, her mind assumes they must have proof, making denial feel pointless. Underlying theory. Expectancy violation theory. Surprising someone with information they thought was secret disrupts their expectations and spikes anxiety, causing leakage and admissions.
So he arranged for me, I guess this is what I figured out. So he basically, I guess he was sending pictures of me that he already had from all the way back from Wood County case or whatever. He was sending a whole bunch of bad, inappropriate pictures or whatever to this person, and was saying like, oh, she will do stuff for you to get her right down here or whatever. But I didn't know that. So whenever I got in contact with the person, I'm like, well, I'm at the time 17 or whatever. I was like, and I'm not really trying to do that stuff or whatever. I'm like, can I just get a free ride without having to do anything or whatever? So the person comes, and like halfway through the ride or whatever, we had to end up doing stuff because that's what Jonathan, I guess, promised him or whatever. And that's when I ended up getting, it was like Chauvin's Tavern or something like that. That's where the car ended up at, was Chauvin's Tavern. And after I got out of the car, I went into Chauvin's Tavern. Well, before we went in there, we hugged and stuff, and we were like, I missed you and stuff. And after that, we went into Chauvin's Tavern, and we sat down, and we were just talking about everything that happened, like him being locked up, and what happened with me. You know, I showed him my scar and stuff and told him that I was in a car accident again or whatever, just basically repeating everything. And then after that, that's when, you know, he was like, well, we have to stay out or whatever until my mom goes to sleep. And I'm like, that's weird. I'm not about to stay out until your mom goes to sleep. But mind you, we started smoking, drinking or whatever, and he didn't, so basically he had alcohol already on him and then weed already on him, but we started smoking and drinking or whatever, and we're just walking around going places. We went to this one abandoned house that they were like redoing that was near the house or whatever, and he tried to mess with me. I was like, no, and stuff, and like I kept telling him, I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to the house. I'm not going to the house. Like, if she don't know that I'm there, then I don't feel comfortable. I'm already on the run. That makes me feel paranoid that I have to go into her house and her not know that I'm there. And so then at some point, I guess that we ended up at the house or whatever, and next thing I know is that I wake up.
All right. How'd you get in the house?
I don't remember.
Okay. Where were you staying while you were in the house?
In his room. It's like this. So the door right here, then right here, then right. The bathroom's right here. The door's right there. That's his room.
Okay.
What they did, they acknowledge her trauma and mental health struggles. That's a perfectly normal reaction, showing empathy right before pressing her for details of the killing. Effect on suspect. This emotional validation lowers her defenses, creating whiplash when they pivot to the murder, catching her off guard and more likely to speak without rehearsing. Underlying theory. Effect labeling theory. Naming and validating emotions reduces amygdala activity and calms distress, making suspects more rational and verbally open.
Going back to sleep, and in like 30 minutes to like an hour, that's when I hear, babe, babe, babe. And I'm like I don't even know if I should get up. It's like that gut feel, like you just know something went wrong. So I like slowly like get up, and I like walk out of the room, and then I walk this way. I'm like looking everywhere. Then I walk in and I look this way, and there she is on the ground. There's a rock by him.
Who's she?
You said who's she?
Yeah.
Nicole.
Nicole, his mother. Okay, go ahead.
There she is on the ground. He has his hands on her neck, and he's asking me to help him. He's like, babe, can you please help me? And I'm like, no. And then that's when I went to the couch and I lay down, and then I didn't even know what to do with myself. I literally kept saying, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then next thing I know, he picks up the rock, is banging her head more, and I'm like, no, this can't be happening, this can't be happening. And then after that, or whatever, after that happened, he told me we had to go to the store. And I went with him. I went to the store. He got cleaning supplies and a whole bunch of stuff. And we went back to the house or whatever. And then after that happened, he cleaned up the mess on the ground. He moved her body into he like turned her over or whatever. And then after that happened, he ended up packing up everything. He moved the body into the car. I helped him carry the body to the car. And then after that happened, he drove. And then he ended up cutting off his ankle monitor. Oh, no. I guess he had it on. I thought he cut it off before, but he drove to this apartment place, and he got out of the car. I got out of the car. And mind you, the body didn't feel the same the time that I felt whenever I was at the garbage can or whatever. Before, it was like, it wasn't as heavy, then it was heavy as soon as we got to the apartment place. And then after that, I helped him carry the body and dump it in the dumpster. And then after that, he cut his ankle monitor off. And then he fled, basically. That's what happened.
When you saw him in the kitchen, with his hands around her neck. It was the kitchen, right?
Right.
Okay. Where at? I mean, it's a fairly good-sized kitchen.
What they did, rather than accuse her, they ask open-ended questions and let her reconstruct events freely until she accidentally places herself at the scene, witnessing the killing. Effect on suspect. Self-generated statements feel more authentic to the speaker. Once she says it aloud, she becomes psychologically bound to it and less able to retract it later. Underlying theory. Foot in the door technique. Getting someone to make small admissions first makes them more likely to make larger ones later, like confessing presence at the murder.
So I see here that it looks like after the cleanup and putting the body in the trunk, you guys went to back to Sean's. Did you guys go to Sean's?
I don't remember that.
Well, you did, because I can see it right here. So you bought the supplies, you were at Lowe's. Now mind you, let me just tell you this, it is all on video. I have receipts for all this, okay? So the items that were purchased and the body was wrapped up in these items, and then that was at 5:20 that you guys left Lowe's. Went back to the house, right here on the mission, and then by 6:36 p.m., you are back at Sean's Irish Tavern, okay? So at that point, the body's in the trunk because later on, it's not till 12:17 a.m. that the car goes to where the body was disposed of in the dumpster.
But I don't remember. I'm telling you, I don't remember.
You don't remember, but I'm telling you. Okay, that's what happened. So you're distraught that you just saw this killing. Okay?
Well, I wouldn't walked in on it, but yeah.
Okay. You saw this. You're shocked at this whole thing, right? Things are fuzzy. But you go to Sean's.
I don't remember.
Get a little dinner.
Sean's, though. That's the
Okay.
thing. I don't, like,
Well-
I really don't remember. All I remember is, like, the big shit that happened because the other stuff.
Well, that's why we're trying to figure this out together, okay? So I'm just telling you, and I'm filling in these spots, and maybe it'll click something in your head, okay? So from there, you guys go to the apartment complex and put the body in the dumpster, okay? And from the dumpster, you guys go to the Waffle House to get a little snack. Right?
What they did, they began by reciting GPS data from Jonathan's ankle monitor, plus receipts and surveillance footage showing exact times and places. Lowe's, tavern, dumpster, Waffle House. Effect on her. This removed her ability to alter the story. Any denial could be instantly disproved, so her only safe move felt like partial agreement. Underlying theory. Inoculation theory. Pre-exposing someone to refutations before they lie weakens the lie. If she knows they can disprove it, deception becomes psychologically costly.
I don't remember that.
I got video of you doing that too, okay?
I don't remember. That's what I'm trying to.
Then from 12:29 to 1:04 a.m. You go back to the house, you're there for a little while, and I think then later on, you guys, that next afternoon, at 12:49 p.m., you leave and go to McDonald's. Then you go to Walmart, purchase some supplies. And then you go to, Meijer, and then back to the house. Back to Walmart on Glendale, Home Depot on Airport Highway, Meijer on Center.
We left the same day.
Okay. Then you guys took her debit card and went to the bank, several banks as a matter of fact, and used her.
That's also another thing.
Debit
He
card.
said that he was happy that he got her money now or whatever because she was complaining about how he wasn't even paying for the house and stuff and that she don't even have the money for him to be even living with her. I know that's something that he commented about before, but I don't know why he kept pulling money. I know at some point I know that he was pawning off her stuff or whatever so that he could get money to go into Mexico.
Yeah, we have all that too. We have all that stuff. We found all that, so we have it. And again, I'm gonna. You might hear me say this multiple times, but this is all on video.
I know.
Or there's receipts to show where you're at. And everybody handles traumatic situations a little differently.
I don't know, I felt like I was living a Lifetime movie. Like, I felt like I was living a movie. I literally felt like this was just, how I saw the situation with me and Jonathan was, I really just thought that he was somebody I loved. Like, I really thought that, you know, Harley Quinn or, like, you know, Bonnie and Clyde type stuff or whatever. Like, I really thought that, like, you know, like, I was just his, like, partner in crime, but I wasn't doing the crime. Like, I was just there for him, like, because I loved him or whatever, and I didn't want to leave him, but I was also scared to leave him, even though I loved him. Like, it's crazy, because I really did, throughout being with him or whatever, try to leave or whatever, but that's when he started being more stricter with my phones and stuff. That's the reason why.
What they did. Whenever she claimed she couldn't remember, they calmly filled in the missing steps. Then you left at 5:20, then the body's in the trunk. Effect on her. By supplying the structure, they push her to simply agree instead of resisting, which creates a sense that the detectives know everything already. Underlying theory. Misinformation effect. When false or leading details are introduced into memory gaps, people often accept them as their own memories, especially under stress.
I even tried to attempt to leave or whatever. He did hand me the gun and stuff, and hand me the knives and was like, kill me right here, right now. But I didn't do that because I'm not capable of that. I know I'm not capable of that. I don't want to hurt somebody like that.
You still love him? Yeah. You're still gonna do what he says? Like right here, right now?
I want to see the fall for him so badly. He's the only person I have.
Really, what about Mr. Sorter up in Monroe, Michigan?
Who?
Mr. Sorter? I forget what it is. There's two of them. Kevin, maybe? I can't remember. But according to that, you love him.
Who?
Sorter. You've been talking with him from the jail. You're on audio telling him how much you love him and you want to do this, that, and the other to him. Very graphic.
Who? Oh, who? Are you talking about, I don't know who you're talking about. I've talked to one person being in this jail, or whatever. I talked to him when I very first came here, or whatever, because someone hooked me up with him, but it's still not, I told him that I still have feelings for Jonathan, though. It's the same thing. I told him I'm never going to be the same after this. I tell my parents that, too, all the time.
Does Jonathan know about him?
No, Jonathan knows that my family, he has support or whatever, but he don't know about anybody else.
What would he say if he heard those calls? What would he say about that situation?
That I have a history of cheating. It doesn't mean that I don't love him, though. He knows that. I've told him that. Being high or whatever, I told him I was like, I remember this when I was very high. The one night I was like, I told him I was like, I was cheating on you when we very first met or whatever. But I told him I was like, it didn't matter though because I love you. He knows. It's just if he finds out, he's gonna be pissed. Cause I don't know. I just know he would be pissed though if he found out. So I love him though. I really do love him. Like I really do want to take the fall for him.
Well, they did. They confronted her with jail call recordings of her professing love to another man, exposing disloyalty Jonathan didn't know about. Effect on her. This cracked the emotional bond she was clinging to, making her feel Jonathan might not be worth sacrificing herself for. Underlying theory. Attachment theory. Threatening a person's primary attachment figure triggers insecurity and shifts their behavior towards self-preservation over loyalty.
Well, hold on a second. We don't want anybody to take the fall for anybody. Okay? We just want the truth. And the truth is that...
someone died, I know. Somebody that should have...
Let him finish.
In these other interviews, okay, that you had with the FBI agents down in El Paso and all this stuff, that you were very specific about what happened. Okay?
Right.
He was nowhere around. You're sitting in the room with two FBI agents in a locked facility. So he poses no threat to you. So you go into a story with explicit
Right.
detail.
Leave him
Oh,
talk.
stop. How you gave him a specific period of time to get rid of his mother, to kill his mother, because she was in the way keeping you guys from being together. And that he did not complete that act. So you gave him another hour. You went and staged this brick or block, whatever it was, and you waited for her in the kitchen to be bent over in the refrigerator. You took the rock, bashed her head in, and strangled her, okay? And based upon your very explicit words, we got a search warrant, went to the house, and the physical evidence in that place is exactly like you said. Exactly like you said. So someone who's all traumatic and not grasping the full situation is not going to be that explicitly detailed. See, and here's the other thing, okay? You're trying to tell us that you're the victim in all this.
No, I'm not trying to tell you the victim. I'm
Okay,
trying to tell you how she died. I'm trying to tell you what I did, but you're not listening.
Okay, we know how she died.
No! I'm trying to give her the full justice she needs. I understand I'm guilty. I understand I'm guilty for running. I'm guilty for taking the fall for him. I'm guilty for dumping her body. I understand that, but I'm really trying to tell you how it is. Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, because you're not going to listen. You really think I'm the one that did it. I understand it from my statements, but me and him talked about it back and forth. I talked to him. I promised him I was going to take the blame because I loved him.
What they did. They cited her earlier El Paso FBI interview, where she vividly described giving Jonathan a deadline and killing Nicole, and compared it to her current amnesia. Effect on her. This cornered her logically. If trauma erases memory now, why didn't it then? The inconsistency implied lying. Underlying theory. Cognitive consistency theory. People strive for internal coherence. Pointing out contradictions forces them to resolve the imbalance, often by conceding.
Okay.
I told him I wouldn't.
And here's the other. So you guys go to Tempe, Arizona, okay? A man standing on the street corner is shot. Okay? Who shot that man?
I don't know. I don't know what that happened.
Okay. Well, it's funny because that's another thing that you said that you did. You did a drive-by shooting. And you shot this guy standing on the street corner and you think he's dead. That's what you told someone, okay? So you're very explicit about that. And then you were taking your socks and soaking them in lighter fluid, setting them on fire, and throwing them out the window trying to start a fire, okay? So what gets me is, in the past you've been so specific about all these things that have happened. Now all of a sudden, it switches from I did this to Jonathan did this, and this. Okay?
I did dump the body. I told you guys that, but I didn't kill her.
Then why would you say, okay, let me ask you this. Who's Michael Smith?
He's my trafficker.
He's your trafficker. Okay? So he lives in the Canton area, right?
Yes.
Okay. Did you exchange some text messages with Michael Smith telling him that you guys had killed Jonathan's mother?
You gotta remember something.
Yes, I did say that.
You did? Okay. And what were you trying to do? What were you trying to accomplish by telling?
I was trying to get home in some way. I was trying to let them know.
What they did. They reminded her of other specific past confessions, drive-by shooting, setting socks on fire, that she gave when Jonathan wasn't present. Effect on her. This showed she's capable of recalling details when motivated, undermining her claim of memory loss only about this murder. Underlying theory. Consistency bias. People assume their past and present behaviors are consistent. When detectives show inconsistency, it erodes credibility and forces correction.
But I love Michael.
So, Michael, you reached out to him because, in your words in these messages, you were wanting to join a drug cartel, right?
That's what Jonathan wanted, yeah. But I put that in the message.
And then, so you put on the message, you're going back and forth with this guy, and he explains to you that, hey, if you're going to join a drug cartel, because apparently he had the connections to put you in contact with the drug cartel. So he explained to you that you have to be able to kill people. And he asked you, have you ever killed anyone? You said, yes. And he said, who? And he said, who? And you said, oh, me and my boyfriend killed his mom, and so on and so forth. And he asked you specifics about names and so on and so forth. I can show you the conversation if you'd like.
No, I don't need to see
Okay.
it.
And let me tell you something about it. You know how this came into our possession? You want me to tell you? Mr. Smith is an informant
I don't know, he told me.
for the marshals. So the whole time this is going on and he's having this conversation with you, he's actually giving that information directly to law enforcement.
What they did, they revealed that Michael Smith, to whom she bragged about the killing, was actually a police informant giving them her texts. Effect on her. This shattered her belief in secret alliances, making her feel surrounded and eliminating her sense of control over the narrative. Underlying theory. Illusion of transparency, bias. People overestimate how hidden their inner thoughts are. When exposed, it triggers panic and sudden honesty.
Remember when I told you they know more than what you think they know?
I know.
Okay, so here's the most important thing. Listen. This one. You keep jumping back to they're not believing me that I didn't kill her. Okay?
You want
Now,
me
wait a
to
minute.
tell
Hold on. No, hold on. What's important is you tell them the truth about everything else. Everything. Tell them the truth about everything. Who this might
I'm gonna tell him. I'm gonna tell him.
Right. Well, I mean, he
But it's gonna hurt me.
So listen to me. You keep jumping back to they don't believe me. They don't have to believe you. They have certain things. What they're doing is quite simply asking a question about Mr. Smith. And they want to see if you're going to answer consistent with what they already know that Mr. Smith has already told them, all right, or given the text messages, all right?
Okay.
So you got to tell them everything about Mr. Smith. Whatever you texted him, that's fine. It is what it is, okay? The most important thing at this point is for you to be believable, okay? And remember about the ankle monitor? You know, he's telling you where you went because his ankle monitor was on all that time.
I remember, but I don't remember. That's the thing. Like I know the places, but I don't remember what we were exactly doing.
That's fine. That's fine. If you remember the places, you went here, you went there, and there. Whatever was sent whatever text message was sent to your trafficker. Just tell them what you said. Okay? Be truthful. It's not going to hurt you in one way or the other. Okay? What matters at this point is, like I said, we're trying to work the best we can with a bad hand, okay? And the thing about it is they want truthful statements from you. So whatever you texted to Mr. Smith, be truthful about it. Whatever you said, you said. Whatever you texted, okay?
Okay.
What they did, her attorney reframes telling the full truth as her only route to being believable and avoiding harsher punishment. Effect on her. This reframes confession from failure into self-protection, switching her motivation from protecting Jonathan to saving herself. Underlying theory. Prospect theory. Under risk, people make choices to avoid losses more than to gain wins. Facing total loss, she's nudged toward cooperation as the least loss.
Be truthful. He's showing you the text. Did you text this guy? What did you say? What did you text? Okay? Just tell them the truth. It's not going to hurt you one way or the other at this point. Okay? Like I said, we're in the worst case scenario there is that you've already...
I want to go home. That's all I want you to understand. This is hurting me so bad.
What's hurting you?
I don't understand. Happened. Being locked up because somebody took somebody's life and it wasn't me, but I thought I could do this. It hurts. It hurts, it really hurts, I want to go home.
What hurts your head?
Being locked up.
Yeah. Well, you know that's not going to change for a while, right?
Right.
All right. Now, I You said what you said.
No, it's not gonna end.
Well, I mean this interview, if you want me to, but I mean, you haven't said anything different than what you've already told the FBI in the original one, okay? So what's important here is if you remember texting Mr. Smith, then tell him, yeah, I remember texting.
I also remember texting the girl too.
Okay.
I didn't want to say that.
Well, when he asked the question, who's Mr. Smith? No, he's my trafficker. Do you remember doing this? If you did, yeah, I remember doing that. I remember saying that. Okay? What matters here is you just tell the truth. And I said they know a lot more than what you think they do. Okay? So what they're looking for is, are your answers consistent with what they already know? That makes sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so don't keep falling back to you're not believing me. Part of them believing you is if you answer them truthfully about other things. Okay? Does that make sense?
No, but they turn it back on you and just want to act like you're an innocent victim. I don't care about being a victim. I don't care about being innocent. I'm a fucking survivor.
I hear you.
You don't understand.
What they did, she insists, I'm a survivor, not a victim, while defending Jonathan. Detectives let that contradiction hang, knowing it will grate on her psyche. Effect on her. This forces her to reconcile being both a survivor and someone enabling an abuser, which pushes her toward distancing from him. Underlying theory. Self-discrepancy theory. Gaps between actual behavior and self-image cause psychological discomfort, which people resolve by changing their behavior or admitting the truth.
There's really shit there. Why do you think I want to still, at the end of the day, take a blame for something I didn't do? It's because I really did love Jonathan. It don't matter if I say I love you to 1,000 people. I can do that all day long. My heart goes out to Jonathan.
I hear you. I understand you're dealing with severe trauma. I got it. All right?
This is hurting me so bad.
So what's hurting you so bad?
It's everything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, come on in. I'm wondering if we've reached the point that Judge Cook was concerned about as far as competency to be able to have the conversation. I mean, we're pretty much... I'm not sure.
Okay, what's making you so upset right now? You're feeling like we're not listening to you?
It's not that. I'm not trying to say I'm a victim or none of that. I'm just trying to tell you how I seen it as. That's how I see it as. I know I'm not right in the head, but that's how I see the situation. I know he's the one that did it, but I don't remember anything. I know the places you said. I know the people you're talking about, but I don't remember doing it. I don't remember being in an actual position, like being there. Like, I'm not conscious. I don't remember being conscious during that. I know of it. I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember it. Like, I don't remember being in that spot, and it hurts me because it's like, I'm a survivor. I'm not no victim. I don't like that word. It took a lot for me to go through what I did with Jonathan. I know that I say I love you to a lot of people, but I can do that all day long, but my heart goes out to him. I really love him. And I think what really happened at the end of the day is that I just came into the mindset that it was okay that she died. That it's okay to kill people and stuff like that when it really isn't.
I'm listening. I want to hear you out. I feel like you're really frustrated because we're not listening to you. I'm trying to hear what you're saying, okay? We both are.
I want to go. I don't want to be.
Caitlin, the last thing we want to do is pin something on someone who didn't do whatever the crime is, okay?
They offer to end the interview if you want, framing continued talking as her choice, right after suggesting she's nearly done. Effect on her. This regains her sense of agency, making her continue voluntarily, but now fully inside their timeline trap. Underlying theory. Reactance theory. When people feel their freedom is restored, they paradoxically comply more because it feels self-chosen. In June 2024, Caitlin Coons was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years for the murder of 53-year-old Nicole Jones. The sentencing came after she entered a no-contest plea to charges of aggravated murder and abuse of a corpse, alongside her boyfriend Jonathan Jones, who received the same sentence. Prosecutors detailed how Coons, then 17, had run away from a group home to be with Jonathan and pressured him to kill his mother, ultimately bludgeoning and strangling Nicole herself when he failed to do so. During the hearing, the court emphasized the calculated nature of the crime, the attempted cover-up, and the profound betrayal of trust involved. The sentence reflects the court's view of her as both a participant and an instigator, ensuring she serves decades before parole eligibility while acknowledging her age. The ruling provides prosecutors a firm resolution in a deeply disturbing case.